Welcome to the moon forecast. This is for the new moon we have happening in Taurus. It's coming to us at 28 degrees of Taurus on May 19th at 8:53 a.m. So we are welcoming in this wonderful intention setting energy for that Taurus, that very stable energy that we have happening. I'm Kendall with the Bohemian Tarot Girl and Wild Reawakening, and this is Amy. Amy, give a shout out for yourself.
Hi, I'm Amy. I'm an intuitive energy coach and mooncircle leader. And yeah, we're just getting together like we always do this time of month to talk about the upcoming moon energy and kind of see where we can work with it, align, flow, and utilize it to kind of for our best interest.
Yeah, and this moon is all about that Taurus energy with the grounding and the very kind of earthy symbols that we have. How did you feel about it as far as the energy that you're seeing for this new moon?
I am this moon, I think couldn't come at a better time after the last moon that we had, which was the lunar eclipse in Scorpio. Um, which I brought in, that was a really intense energy that was brought in. And even though it had its uses, because all energy has its purpose and its uses, and we just have to learn to work with it. It was really, really intense for so many people. Scorpio
Yes.
is, we talked about, if you saw the last video, it's the energy of the phoenix. It's like the rebirth and death and transformation. And a lot of people during that eclipse cycle saw a lot of things changing in their life,
Mhm.
some unexpectedly. And even though that portal is open now and will be continuing, and we won't see like the full effect of it until the fall when we have the last eclipse in the Taurus Scorpio axis, um, there's so much that has kind of been made room for this moon to now come in, which, like you said, it's a grounding energy. It's about building and creating and bringing things to life. um, Taurus is ruled by Venus, which is about all of the good things and your security and your safety and your comfort and what feels good to you and your values and what you want your life to look like. And so we have this energy which is so supported by so many other planets
So many.
that are all in Taurus right now, that it's really giving this extra boost of beautiful energy to look at creating now that you have this space that's probably been made in your life in some way, to kind of use this to create what you want to have your life look like next. It's like this very transformative, creative energy that we're working with now.
Yes. I love that. And with this new moon, there's the piece of it where it's about yourself and, for me, really knowing what you're worth and not compromising in that energy. But then there's also this aspect that we were talking about earlier with relationships. And it's really, you're applying that, um, knowing and understanding of what you worth and what you want. And now you've kind of cleared out this past energy with these relationships. I feel like a lot of people, we've talked about, have kind of had that experience where they've shifted in their relationships. And now is a great time with this new moon to set your intentions revolving around that and really focusing on how it physically affects you in this lifetime and making sure that it is the person that you're bringing in is really related to how you feel here in this physical plane. And so just making sure that you find value when you're setting intentions for that and that you're really focusing on that piece, I think is really important, especially with all this wonderful, you have your North Node in Taurus, and we have all that other energy coming to us. What Venus is in Cancer? Am I right about that? Yes. And so it's all that emotional energy that is coming through.
Yeah, the astrology right now is so made up of earth elements and water elements.
Yes.
It has a very feminine energy to it right now. It's all about what feels good and what the beauty of the world and the beauty of yourself, and really, as you said, harnessing that aspect of your self-love and self-worth, and aligning with your world that reflects that sense of yourself. Um, Cancer, we talked about Cancer Venus,
Mm.
it's a very like empathetic, nurturing energy. And with that, the other side of that is also recognizing where maybe your boundaries have not been very clear,
Yes.
where you have maybe given too much of yourself in some relationships. Um, and really honoring that your needs are just as valid as somebody else's, and giving some of that love back to yourself as well. um we always, I mean, Taurus is ruled by Venus. We also have Libra that's ruled by Venus, and the different aspect that I always think of those two is that the Venus and Taurus element is more of a what is in your physical reality.
Mm.
um, there is a relationship aspect to that, but not as much as there is with Libra,
Yeah.
because Libra is very much about partnerships and coming together, and um, the interaction between yourself and someone else, or yourself and a group of people. Whereas Taurus is very much an individual. It's looking at what you want your environment to look like, what you want your home to feel like, what you want your job, what makes you feel good in your job. It's about comfort and security
Mm.
and beauty and your physical aspect. So,
Yeah. It's really, I mean, like this energy, I am with you. Like, I don't think it could come at a better place in this, for this time, this season that we've had with all this energy and shifting. And really now it's asking us to take that energy, have a little breath, and make sure that we're making sure everything is aligned with what we want to be bringing in this physical plane. Um, with it, we have Jupiter giving us some great energy, which I love. So if you have that in your sign, between the degrees of 24 to 30, and those are for fixed signs: Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. There's some extra luck in there. There's, of course, always the extra luck that we get with Jupiter's energy, but the fact that it's also coming to us with that Taurus energy and bringing us in that extra luck alongside the moon, which I love. So if you're trying to do something financial, if you're trying to build a business, if you're trying to, change up your physical world in any space, this is a great moment to really lay out your intentions for it and start making things happen in that world, because you have that extra bonus of that Jupiter energy with that luck piece.
yeah. And Jupiter has just changed signs into Taurus, and it's a year long transit. And so it's going to be in Taurus for a year. And Jupiter, as you said, it expands everything it comes in contact with. And it is very lucky. But you also have to make sure that you are utilizing that energy to expand the right things and not the
Mhm.
wrong things. If you are Taurus sun, rising, or moon, this is going to be an extra period of um, luck for you, especially as you said, financially or business. Just reiterating what you said, but it's going, it's really a good time to pay attention and really utilize this fortunate aspect for of it being in your sign for a year, because it only happens every 12 years. So you can also look back at where you were 12 years ago and kind of see like maybe some things really came together for you back then, or you had an abundance of some sort in an area of your life. If you don't have a Taurus sun, moon, or rising, or one of the other aspect or signs that Kendall mentioned, you can always see where in your chart you have Taurus, what house it is in, and pay attention, because that area of your life is probably going to go through some sort of growth or have some sort of lucky alignment with.
Yes. It's definitely that energy of kicking something off on like great footing is what I would say. So whatever you're trying to do, this is a great opportunity to use this energy right at this moment to kick it off and to get it going because you're going to add in that extra bit of that we have going on with Jupiter, and not to mention just in general that Taurus energy. We have so many things sitting in that Taurus energy, and it's this wonderful grounding energy, right? And so it's not frantic or anything like that. It's very stable, and it's a great place to start when you're starting something, right?
And especially also because Mercury is also in Taurus and it was retrograde and it has just recently started moving forward again. And so if you felt like things weren't coming together or there was delays or there was communication issues, everything was just more slow moving because Taurus energy is kind of slow moving, but then you add that Mercury retrograde, it just really amplified the delay of everything. And now it's moving direct. And so we're going to see that things are starting to come together and move forward where maybe they had been stuck previously.
Mhm.
So you have that boost from Mercury. We have the North Node in Taurus until I think mid-July. It will change into North Node in Aries. So we have that element that's working with us. And then we also have Uranus in Taurus, which is a long transit at 7 years. And we've been in it for about 3.5 years now. And that is kind of the game changer planet. It's likes to shake things up. It likes to um, show you maybe where you aren't as free, where you can be more innovative. And so you have all of these aspects and all of these planetary energies that are all combining in this sign right now to really help you bring something in and create something more concrete
Mhm.
with solid footing that's going to last a long time, but maybe be really different from what your original plan was. Um, we all know Taurus likes to have a plan. They like to know where they're going and they like to see what's ahead. But we have these other elements in here that are kind of throwing things in the mix to shake things up a little bit, put you on a different course, and maybe give you something that is so much better than you could have originally first expected or thought of.
I think that's great. And we have like, the moon is sextiling Mars, which is telling us to be really daring in our personality, to really step outside of that comfort zone and just own who we are and to really shine. And so it's interesting that we have kind of we also have the moon in a strong trine to Pluto, and that's very much about owning who you are. And so we're really being asked, along with this, Taurus energy, which, like you said, has a tendency to be kind of slow moving and wanting to be really maybe methodical in your thought process, is also telling us, though, you kind of just need to own it and you need to go for it. This is it, right? Here's your moment. Take your place where you need to be and just go ahead and shine for who you want to be. Don't hold back. um, I feel like we've gone through so much transformation recently that this is just this emphasizing this moment of really letting go of the past and stepping forward into the future and taking those first few steps that we have with all this great energy.
Yeah. And a big part of that has been learning how to trust yourself and your journey. And I think that all of these other,
Computers.
sorry about that.
It's because 'cause we're in, like, Mercury retrograde. We still have the shadow going on.
Yeah, not supposed to happen. Yeah, so learning how to trust your journey that you've been on, and we've had all of these instances of having to release things that aren't working, especially recently. I feel like this year, and I know I've talked about it before, that this year, the whole theme of it seems to be coming home to yourself. And I think that learning to trust your journey and learning to trust yourself and how you're able to handle the the trials that you go through and see that you can come out on the other end, that is just emphasizing that it's okay to leave the plan behind, and it's okay to jump forward, and it's okay to do something a little unexpected because you have that confidence and assuredness in yourself and your abilities.
Mhm.
Um, this isn't really a time that to like sit back and wait and hide yourself and
No.
wait for things to come to you. Like it's really the time where you need to step forward and own who you are and own what your talents are and your abilities and just let it all shine.
Yes. It is, I mean, like I said before, this is really about stop selling yourself short. This is your moment. You know what you're worth, and you need to not make any compromises with it. So just go ahead and step out there and shine like the star that you are. Amy, do you have anything else that you want to chat about before we finish up, or
Um, also, I mean, this is a very positive moon, but we do have some energy coming in shortly after that
talk about that
that can
warning?
be a little challenging. And so it's going to be just a few day transit. It's not a long period of time, but just be aware that um, there could be some things that feel more volatile, a little bit not so fun that may come into your orbit. And it's just really just an opportunity to utilize the tools that you've been acquiring and also just stand in your solid presence of who you are and what you want and not fall into kind of the atmosphere and the energy that's happening around you. It will pass. Things will get easier as we move into June. Some of
Yeah.
the energies shifts and some of those tense alignments will dissipate and then it'll all kind of make sense. But I always like to kind of give a little bit of warning if you're like, oh, but you said it was going to be a good moon and then this happened.
Yeah.
Like, it's a good moon. Utilize it to kind of create your intentions and start making plans and aligning yourself with what is your highest and best for yourself. But also know that, I mean, energy is energy and it moves and flows. And um, there could be some days where you're just like, not this again, or why are we going through this? It'll pass. So,
No, that's a good warning because I do think this moon is great. Like I said, set your intentions, get things going, but there might be a little bit of a roughness. So, but we're going to get through it. We're going to head on out to June and it's going to be great. So, we'll get better energy there. All right, everyone. I hope you have a great new moon. We will see you next time for the full moon. If you want to join us, we will be having a live event. Please go ahead and sign up on Wild Reawakening, and we will have more information. Or you can check the link below, and we'll also have a link to it. We're going to be hosting a live moon circle, so we hope to see you all there. All right, everyone. Talk to you later. Bye.